Hello, and welcome to Living Lizzy, a very McGuire podcast. My name is Jake Thomas, a.k.a. Matt McGuire.
And I'm Davida Williams, a.k.a. Claire Miller.
And this episode's going to be between a rock and a bra place. If you're watching on Disney+, that's Season 1, Episode 12. This is kind of the iconic episode of the show.
It's the fan favorite, right? Or it's like the most watched or something like that. Yeah,
it's the one that everybody remembers because I feel like it's also the most polarizing episode. Yeah. I mean, it's a show. It was an episode that was about bras, which in itself is not a common topic for a kid's show, but it's pretty important.
Especially
I feel like
for the time, too.
Definitely
to be
for the
talking
time.
About boobs and things.
I mean, early 2000 was not known for progressive material, I feel like. And then on the opposite end, we have literally the most, I guess, boyish kind of content for Matt, which he's doing kung fu. Yeah. So we're doing kung fu the entire episode. So bras, kung fu, I think it makes a pretty good mix.
It's wild, that combo.
And did you ever watch this episode back when it came out?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it again when we did the table read for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Which was really fun.
I just, because you guys never got to see the kung fu side on set, right?
No, I didn't get to see you doing that.
Yeah.
How was that? Was that fun?
It was so much fun. Okay. That's like a dream of a 10 or 11-year-old was to just do kung fu.
Did you have to practice?
They actually set me up with a stunt coordinator that was, I believe he was Michelangelo and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, the live action one, the suit. He was the guy in the suit.
That's very impressive.
It's awesome. Which I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid too. So that was really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was fun. Did you guys have a bra coordinator at no stunt bra coordinator?
No practice needed for that.
All right, okay, that's fine. The doorbell.
Oh,
I'll get that.
Wonder who it could be.
Hey, everybody, look who it is. It's Bobby Carradine, a.k.a. Sam McGuire, a.k.a. Dad.
Hello, Jaker.
Hey, Bobby, how's it going?
Good.
It's good to see you.
You too. You're looking 20 years older.
Oh, don't remind me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am too, right? Yeah.
I mean, to me, the thing to me is you've always just been the adult, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you've kind of gotten to see all of us go from just literal children, just very tiny children, into
young
adults.
Yes.
Which is kind of crazy.
I know. I love it. And, I've told people who ask what was it like working on Lizzie McGuire. I just tell them, well, it's kind of like what I was doing when I wasn't on the set.
Yeah.
I had, a boy and a girl.
Yep.
The girl was the older kid, and they were the same ages as you and Hillary.
Yeah.
So I'd go to work, and then I'd go to work.
That's so funny. I didn't even realize that, or that put that together.
Yep.
And we put Ian in one of the shows. My son.
We put Ian in tons of stuff, didn't we?
He played young Sam.
Yeah.
And they stuck a pair of glasses on him. And,
my gosh.
Multiple times.
Yeah. And didn't you direct an episode?
I did. I directed episode 22, I think it is.
Okay.
In the second season.
Or 29. It might be 29. It's called Lizzie's 11.
Yes, the Ocean's 11
rip-off.
Kind of rip-off. Yeah. That was a fun one to do.
That was.
We'll have to do that one later.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think my favorite blooper from that I remember too is you saying something and then just being like, and cut.
I remember that. That got a laugh.
How was it actually acting and directing something at the same time? Because that's something that I've yet to do personally. Direct something that I'm in. How was that experience for you?
It was fantastic. As you remember, we had a really good. One of our first ADs was Glenn Steelman.
He's fantastic.
Really good. So I could count on him.
Yeah.
To be watching me when I was on camera.
Yeah.
And every day I would try to shoot myself out.
Yeah.
So that I could concentrate the rest of the day on you guys.
That's smart.
That's how I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so
and one
cool.
of the ideas I had was Kate's purse.
Yeah.
Remember we were pulling everything out of that purse, including your dog?
Oh, Ace. Ace made multiple appearances in the show too. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Well, on the set, there's these stairs that apparently go upstairs, but they don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. But we cut a hole in the stairs, and we cut a hole in the bottom of the purse, stapled the purse, and there was a guy underneath the stairs just handing stuff up, including the dog.
That's so funny.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That was funny.
That's amazing.
Do you remember auditioning for the show?
Yes.
can you describe, because I feel like I remember stuff, but like the details are so vague. Because I remember, I mean, for me, I remember coming back multiple different times, but then doing that last final mix and match at Disney.
Yeah.
What do you remember about the whole process?
Well, I met Stan Rogo and Terry
Minsky.
What?
Terry Minsky.
Oh, God, I was going to say that too. Terry Minsky and Stan, remember meeting them at the, there's some studios over on Olympic in West LA.
Yeah. What was the name of that?
Landmore or
We were talking about it.
I couldn't remember what that place was called. Yeah.
Anyhow, it was a place where you could get auditions handled. And I remember reading through the material with them, and they were laughing. I'm thinking, what is so funny? This isn't that funny. And I just thought, well, this isn't going anywhere. And I tossed the sides in the trash can on the way out.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I've got to report to Disney and do it again.
Wow.
See, I feel like that's
It's always the ones.
It's always the ones you
Yeah.
don't care about, where it's like, I'm never going to hear from them again.
Well,
Then
also,
you end up booking.
I didn't really like the idea of cartoon Lizzy. I thought that was a mistake.
Oh, okay.
And
Reading it was weird at first.
really weird. And
Yeah.
boy, was I wrong. Because cartoon Lizzy it's a great handle.
Very
It
good.
It's
fit,
like,
yeah.
it's kind of like a narrator or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess it fits in better with the original title of the show, the What's Lizzy Thinking?
Right.
But I guess Lizzie McGuire just made it nice and short.
Yeah.
I remember not really understanding it when I first read it, but then I saw it and was like, oh, this is cool.
I mean, they made it a big deal, like in the reboot thing, where it was like, oh yeah, there's no animated Lizzie, and then comes back at the end of it, and it's like, haha, gotcha, we still got animated Lizzie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing about that audition process when I went to Disney,
Yeah.
it was like this Disney Tower on Alameda Street
Yeah.
in Toluca Lake.
Yeah.
And Gary Marsh was in the room.
Yeah.
He was like the head cheese of that whole part of Disney.
Yeah.
And I did the scene with Haley,
Mm-hmm.
Hallie Todd. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, great, okay. And I'm bolting for the elevator because I want to get out of there before they change their mind.
Yeah.
Right? Sure as shit. Hallie was called back.
Uh-huh.
They didn't call me back. They called her back.
Oh.
Because they called her back, I had to go too.
Oh, okay.
And for, many months, I was like cross with her about that. Because I just thought, oh boy, this is it. Kiss of death. I got to go back and try and repeat what I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So funny.
Yeah.
Was that the 21st floor of
Yeah,
that?
21st floor. Yeah.
It went up that high, that
Yeah,
building?
I know. They're still there. They're
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
Yep.
We probably own the building, knowing them.
I guess. I don't really know. I feel like they don't, but maybe I'm wrong. I know they used to have the Disney Channel whatever logo at the top of that
Right,
building.
now
but
it's
they don't
gone,
anymore.
right?
Oh,
No,
is it
it's
gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been gone for a while.
Mm.
So for this episode, we had your brother who reprised his role of Kung Fu
Yes.
Grasshopper.
Right.
That was really amazing.
I know. I was so thrilled that he said, yeah, I'll do that. Why
How did
not?
you convince David to do that?
I just asked if he wanted to do it. And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, okay, man. Sure.
And rewatching it too, he was so he was totally sold. He was giving it everything too,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
was so cool to see too.
Yeah.
Just someone like him that was just like, yeah, I'm gonna give it all the energy to like really get into these moves and everything. He looked like he was having fun.
He had a good time. He told me he had a good time.
That's so cool.
And he dug you, man.
He was great. He was so cool.
I think when we were shooting that, a couple of the nerds came to the set.
Really?
Really?
Curtis Armstrong and Timothy Busfield. No,
Okay. I mean, okay. Yeah, so for the younger audiences who do not know,
there's a movie they should not miss.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah,
You have
that's a
to know
classic.
Revenge of the Nerds, but Bobby Carradine is the king nerd.
King Nerd, Chief Geek.
Chief Geek. I mean, there's so many references to in the show that really weren't there for the kid audience.
Right.
There were so many things that were just for the parents or the adults watching. Because I'm like rewatching stuff. There's jokes that I did not understand as a
Same,
kid.
Yeah.
No, I know. And I think that was one of the real gift elements that the writers had.
Yeah.
Was to be able to put something on the page that appealed to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, they knew they were putting it over you guys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you remember your reaction when you first got the script for this episode?
A Bra in a Hard Place?
Yes.
No, I don't remember that.
I feel like I don't either.
I don't either.
But
I do remember when I saw the title of the episode. I was like, huh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Pretty controversial.
Okay, let me go to this. So this episode has a lot of stunts involved, at least for me, and then some of the breakaway stuff and the stunt pads and stuff. But throughout the entire show, you had a lot of precarious situations that the writers put you in, of being like hung up. Although that was probably a stunt double when they flipped you upside down.
No, I did that.
You did that one?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you did that.
That is
Well,
so
I brought
funny.
my stunt double into the show.
Yeah.
And I hadn't worked with him for 20 years at that point.
Yeah.
And he was an alcoholic.
Okay.
He showed up, he was drunk.
Oh God.
And
To Lizzy?
Oh God.
Oh,
And Glenn
this
Steelman-
is the stuff we don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Glenn,
No.
Glenn Steelman said, Bobby, I think your stuntman is drunk. I said, okay, we'll put him in my room. I think I can do this.
Oh my God.
I didn't like it, but I did it.
How many other stunts did you have to? And we also you got messy a ton of times. And
Yeah.
thank God we had showers in our rooms.
I know. I remember one episode where somebody cracks an egg on my head.
Yeah.
And the director wanted to go again. So I did it again. He wanted to go again. I said, I think you got it.
I think I've seen bloopers too, where you've said that exact same thing multiple times. I think we got it.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man.
So now that I have because I've now directed a handful of things, not theatrical or scripted, but commercial side with kids and stuff. I have a better appreciation now, I feel like, of what goes into scheduling for kids before they turn into pumpkins.
Yes.
And they run out of work hours.
Right.
I mean, it must have been just a constant struggle with us on set. We were completely oblivious to it.
Well, on many occasions, we were doing scenes with a light stand and a person standing there reading the off-camera dialogue for us.
Yeah.
You guys weren't even there.
Right. We were just little X's on a thing.
Yeah.
How, I mean, I get, it's you do have to work around that and have some imagination and not have the kids around and stuff. But overall, how do you feel like working on a kid show was for you experience wise? Because Davida and I, when we were talking about it, we were like, man, all the adult actors, they had it easy.
Because you guys are doing all the heavy lifting, yeah.
And they got to go home early and everything. But is that true? I mean, because you did have to just act when we weren't there to fill in stuff. But
no, my experience on Lizzie McGuire was, I thought it was an epic experience.
Yeah.
I loved being there. I loved doing it.
Yeah.
Dream job.
Total dream job. And you guys were so great. You and all your cohorts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
And I wanted to talk about one stunt I did. You remember when we were building a soapbox racer?
Yes.
And I had to go around the track in the backyard. There's a big bank turn that they built in the backyard.
Okay.
And the guy who makes the props, right? The prop man.
Yeah.
He put the thing together and it had ropes that steered the front axle.
Okay.
Only he wound the rope onto the steering column backwards. So if you wanted to turn left, you had to turn right.
Oh,
and vice versa. I couldn't do it. I don't care.
Your brain just would not.
It does not compute.
Yeah.
Bam.
Oh, God.
Finally, we just said, okay, we're going to keep what we got.
just
Sam didn't get very far.
Great. That's funny. But we also talked about this too. Even though it was very much dream job, you still drove every single day from Santa Barbara down to Renmar Studios and then back.
Well, it was only 3 days a week.
Oh, okay.
And I loved to drive.
Yeah.
And it was 121 miles because it wasn't Santa Barbara. It was Santa Ynez.
Santa Ynez.
Which is 25 miles beyond
yeah,
Santa
that's
Barbara.
farther. I went to a wedding there last summer. That's further.
Yeah, that's further.
That's commitment.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
But, there is method to my madness. As you may recall, I was driving an unmarked police car.
Yes, you were.
And you can get away with...
He still does this. He still does this.
I didn't know that.
You can get away with a lot. With
Oh,
that car.
really?
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, if I was driving that way in a Corvette...
Oh, yeah, no.
I'd be pulled over.
Pulled over immediately.
Yeah.
If I'm lax and I don't see the policeman...
Yeah.
And I get out of it and hit the brakes right then...
Yeah.
They just...
Oh, yeah.
In fact, they wave.
Yeah. Pro tip.
That's so funny.
Pro tip, get a cruiser. Yeah.
Yeah, get a cruiser.
So they just don't notice that it's not a real cop car? Is that what it is?
No, it is a real cop car.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It is completely...
Like if you
his
take
cars
the
are
serial
always-
number and put it in the computer, it comes back Dodge Pursuit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bobby's very serious about his
Oh,
squad
yeah.
cars. Yeah.
This is the only car they have in Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
It really
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, free
Yeah.
parking,
Yeah.
free U-turns.
There you go.
You can fudge on the speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on this episode, I remember not having any idea what the original Kung Fu series was.
Well, how could you?
Right. I was 10 or 11.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember my dad saying, you need to watch some stuff. We need to do some research. And we watched, I think, Lord, probably 2 or 3 of like the movies and then some of the show
Some of
as
the
well.
episode, yeah.
And he's like, you need to know all of these references and
Right.
understand what you're doing and the grasshopper and the pebble and everything like that. That's really fun. Getting to like kind of relive and like just parody all this with
That guy.
actually David.
Yeah, no,
which
it
is
was
so
amazing.
fun.
Didn't you have a line? Well, why do I have to snatch a pebble from your hand?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then what was it? And I have to use master and grasshopper and all the lingo and everything like that. I have so much more appreciation for that now, looking back on it than I did at the time. I mean, I understood it, but like looking back on it now, it's
You're
just like
that was very cool. Yeah.
that's so
and
cool.
I appreciate your dad for making you do the
Yeah,
research.
legit. I mean, my dad always was pretty strict about like me always being off book and everything. He made sure I was prepped and ready.
Professional.
Yeah,
He did a great job with you.
Yeah.
You
He
did a
did.
great job with yourself. I mean, you're very good in the show.
Thank you.
Right.
I wouldn't have known anything without my parents. I mean, I feel like when I watch my character too, I see just my dad.
Yeah.
like things that he's like,
That's so funny.
like inflections and stuff like that of like how he's rehearsed me.
Is your dad really like goofy like that, like the character at all, or just?
No, I mean, I don't know. It's less like goofy. It's more like I can just see inflections and little bits of him within the character.
Hello.
I remember this one bit where you were on the couch. I don't know if it was because you drank coffee or what it was, but you had this line where you're going, race car, race car, race car.
we just
We just talked about this.
I love that bit.
But now, because I talked about this like yesterday, anytime like the word race car is mentioned around my parents,
They crack up.
my dad will crack up and he will repeat race car, race car, race car.
That's such a
That's
great
been the
bit.
last 20 years of my life.
I love it, man. I love
He
that.
remembered it.
Yeah.
Do you remember we had a director that we used to refer to as Midnight Mark?
We just talked
Yeah.
about this yesterday. Mark Rossman.
Yes.
The thing was, his episodes always ended up looking really good because he would just get oodles of coverage.
Yes.
But we called him Midnight Mark.
Because we were there till midnight.
Yeah,
be there.
exactly.
Then on the other end of the spectrum, we had Savage Steve Holland,
Yeah.
whose goal was to see if he could get done before lunch.
Oh my
Yes.
Which
gosh.
he did.
Yeah.
He did that one day.
Before lunch?
Yes.
Wow, what
Yeah.
a dream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were done.
That's so funny.
Two very opposite ends of the spectrum directors, but both, I mean, end of the day, the product was good.
Well, I had to follow Rossman.
Really?
I-
You shadowed him?
I shadowed him, and I was like, Stan, he's covering the shit out of this. Do I have to do that too? He goes, nah.
So what was the process, at least for you? Did you just approach Stan and be like, hey, I want to direct?
I think I did.
Okay.
It was my idea.
Okay.
And he didn't hate it.
Okay.
And I think we had, for some reason, it was when we had a 1 week hiatus.
All
So
right.
my prep week, I wasn't trying to stumble around the set,
Right.
but I was on the set because he wanted me to make a shot list.
I gotcha. Okay.
And, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like that gambling room, the casino.
Yeah, there's nothing
there. It's
didn't
just
exist.
a square space.
Yeah.
And I had to figure out where everything was going to go. It was really cool though.
That's so cool. Did you have to do DGA for that?
Yes.
Did they
I'm Taft-Hartley'd.
Taft-Hartley'd into DGA?
in
That's
the
pretty
DGA,
sweet.
So if I
Okay.
direct again, I've got to pay the dues.
All right. Well,
I would love to have that problem.
yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
really enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoy directing myself too. I've yet to be able to be Taft-Hartley or anything like that. I'm not going to make those days pretty easily into DGA though.
Yeah. Are people watching this?
Right now, we've got thousands of people watching right now.
Seriously?
No, it's
no,
not live.
No, we're
He's
not
gonna
doing
edit
live.
it,
Don't worry
so
about it. Yeah, this
it's
is
not
all
like
edited.
dead space.
Yeah, exactly. So this is an episode that is, like Davida and I said, very, very well remembered and talked about a whole lot. And this is an episode that, if you remember, we did a little Zoom table read a couple years back to during the COVID times,
Right.
and organized it into a nice Zoom table read where we raised money for charity, and we got to kind of do
part
a
of
little,
that?
You were there.
You were there.
there.
You
Yes.
had.
Cool.
There was like an electrician coming over.
I think,
You were
you
back
had
and
an
forth a little
electrician there.
bit.
Yeah. You had to step away for a minute. We
Yeah,
made
the
it
old
work.
electrical problem.
Yeah.
Davida, so this episode talks about bras in a broad sense, but how was that like for you? I mean, because you were 13, 14
Yeah.
at the time, and I mean, I feel like that's somewhat awkward.
It is awkward, and I was kind of a late bloomer. I've never been, so I think I was wearing sports bras at the time, but I wasn't even shopping for bras myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a little awkward and
Yeah.
a little weird. But yeah, we did it. It was
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
fun.
it was done in a smart way.
It
and everything.
was,
And it was
yeah.
written by Nina and Jeremy and Nina. So, I mean, there was a woman's perspective on this
Yeah.
for sure.
And a lot of people really liked that episode and really connected with that part of it. So I think it was great.
Yeah. Did it feel empowering at all? I mean, I get at the time it was probably a little embarrassing, but looking back on it now, does it feel more empowering that subject matter was
now
covered?
it feels empowering. I think back then I wasn't really aware of, what was going on.
We
I was
weren't
just
aware
like,
of half
"Oh."
the stuff that was going
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Like, why am I talking about boobs on the Disney Channel?
Yeah.
But I think now that I'm older, I'm like, wow, that was really progressive. And that was really, especially that network at the time.
Yeah.
That wasn't common. And even other networks, they weren't really talking about that. So yeah,
It's true.
it does feel really progressive, or like I was a part of something.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Bobby, here's a question for you, backing up a little bit. We talked about this a lot. And we had Clayton Schneider come on for an episode as well and talk with him about this. But the show was a little popular.
Yeah.
It was slightly popular.
Yes.
I think at one point it was the #1 kids show in the world.
Okay, that's pretty popular.
Yeah. And we talked about how, our lives of being recognized from the show. I mean, for me at least, from age like 10 on, I've just been used to people recognizing me from this character and from this show.
Right.
You, though, have a massive career that spans generations.
It does.
And you have a whole different set of generations that recognize you for different things. How was your experience for when the show really kicked up in popularity and you had kids recognizing you for the first time? What was that like?
It was great. I mean, a lot of times they'd come up and they go, "You look really familiar." And I would, my normal answer is Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
And they're way too young, right?
Yeah.
And I go, Lizzie McGuire. And I go, "Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
Wow. We love your show."
Did your kids think it was cool?
They loved it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Marika, my middle child, she was in 7th grade, maybe 8th grade, 7th grade when this show hit. And you know that movie Mean Girls?
Oh, yeah.
They were horrible to her.
Yeah,
So
they
just thought that she was special.
Mm-hmm.
And she, as you know, she's
like the
totally down,
sweetest girl in the
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
completely down to earth. So
Yeah.
we homeschooled her.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle her coming home in tears every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aw.
kids are cruel.
I know. Kids suck.
Yeah.
Do you feel like nowadays, what do you feel like you get recognized for the most?
It's probably still the Revenge of the Nerds,
Okay.
the first movie.
Okay.
But not far behind is Lizzie McGuire, because as you just said, #1 show in the world for kids, and I get recognized in foreign countries,
That's crazy.
and they said, "God, we thought you spoke German."
I have a set of Japanese DVDs that a fan gave it. And we speak Japanese really well. I mean, I speak Japanese as it is, but you all did great too.
Oh man. Are you fluent in Japanese?
I am, but I
Wow.
forget a lot between not visiting. Yeah.
But if you go visit it,
If
comes
it
flooding
starts
back,
to come
right?
back, starts to come back.
That's incredible to
Yeah,
me. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Obviously we did this reboot thing and they tried to make happen for a couple episodes, but at least for me, going onto the stage and seeing the rebuilt McGuire House was a very surreal experience because it had been 20 something years and it was a space that, we shot 65 episodes in 2 years, a very short amount of time.
Right. In that space.
Yeah. So for me, it felt, because that was like a core memory as a kid almost.
Right.
How did that feel for you? That whole thing of walking onto that stage?
It was surprising and at the same time expected, because this is a very professional outfit, Disney.
Yeah.
And they get the best of the best to do their stuff.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that what I was looking at. 20 years ago, it looked like that.
Yeah.
The difference is they made it a little bigger.
They did.
So
They made it a little bit bigger, easier to film.
Easier to film, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also when we did the show, I wanted to live in that house.
Yeah.
It was such a cool
It
place.
is a really
house.
nice
It was a nice. We talked about this too. Of the McGuire house. It was a really nice house.
Yeah.
What the hell did Sam do for a living?
I can't tell you. I could, but I'd have to kill you.
I have to kill you. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
And why is he always home?
Yeah, really. He works from home or he goes to the office sometimes. He has clients sometimes.
We don't know where Sam goes.
Yeah. Joe's always home.
Oh, yeah.
He's a man of mystery.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
That's a question I get a lot.
You really?
Yeah. What did you do, by the way? I said, well, I could tell you, but I'd have to.
Well, because the episode that my dad wrote, it alluded to you being in the Secret Service for a
Exactly.
little
Oh my
while.
God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
That's why we couldn't talk about
Maybe
it.
you were like a government contractor, consultant, or something.
Right.
Something
I
like
worked
that.
for Halliburton.
Yeah, exactly. But you wouldn't guess it because Sam always had a very happy-go-lucky kind of disposition. I feel
Well, he
like.
was in deep cover.
Yeah, there you go.
He was playing the role of father.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not his real children.
So where do you think Sam would be now?
Well, I think rather than doing his former employment, I think now he's in like a Zoom zone, and he does everything on a Zoom.
Yeah.
He doesn't even leave the house.
Don't we all?
I think that whole COVID era would have been perfect for him because
Yeah.
his life wouldn't have changed much.
Yeah,
He'd just be
yeah.
at home with his kids.
Yeah. He had a good hairdo thing going on, though.
Oh, that's right. You mean in the reboot?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Terry Minsky, the creator of Lizzie McGuire, said to my agent, "Tell him not to cut his hair and not to shave." So she loved that look.
It's a great look.
That's so
But
funny.
I tell you, man, I guess it wasn't Disney-esque.
Yeah.
Me having long hair like that.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. And then my dad basically just copied that look, and my dad still hasn't shaved.
It's so funny.
He's still got the long hair and the beard.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time for questions from the audience. I'm going to direct these questions to Bobby since we
Okay.
have him here.
Right.
What was, I would say, besides your episode that you directed, because we know that one is definitely a favorite, what was your favorite episode to film that you remember?
65 episodes.
I know.
And the worst one was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
Which is saying
thinking,
something. Yeah.
You know, the one that just pops into my head is the Adventures in Babysitting.
That's a really good episode.
We just watched that one the other day, which was that's a very fun episode.
Is that the one where I'm sawing the chain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're trying to break into your own home.
Yeah.
Did you know that that same guy that put the steering backwards on the car, that guy,
Yeah.
prop man,
Yeah.
he had a chain made for that scene out of copper instead
Really?
of steel.
So it would just
So I
fall
could-
apart.
I could get through it quickly.
that's pretty smart.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prop
okay.
people are they're creative.
What we did was we put the blade and the hacksaw upside down for multiple takes,
Okay.
and then we pulled back and put 2 cameras on it when I really got to cut through it.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
smart.
magic.
A
That's
little bit
pretty
of
smart.
trivia there.
Yeah.
Were there ever any stunts or anything that you had to do where you actually got hurt?
No, I didn't get hurt on the
you
show.
get hurt. Okay. All
I had
right.
the potential. to get hurt.
Potential. There was
Yeah.
high
But
potential,
somehow-
but no injuries.
I survived. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So here's another question that I get asked a lot, which is, how is it working like with the chimpanzee? For me personally, I remember the chimpanzee and being kind of terrified of it. We had this chimpanzee multiple times on the
Yeah.
show. Do you remember working with the chimp?
I don't. I think the chimpanzee sequences were you and possibly Hillary.
I don't think Hillary had anything with the chimp.
So it was just you?
I think it was maybe just me then.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I think. Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah, yeah. I was terrified of that thing because I remember.
Why did we have a chimpanzee?
See,
that's crazy.
It's there's so many things in the show that I'm like, why
Left field, man.
Why did the writers decide this one? And then also the whole thing with Lanny.
Yeah.
Lanny never speaking.
Right.
That was such a weird
Very
choice.
weird,
I mean,
yeah.
it worked,
Yeah.
but it was a very weird choice.
Very weird.
And I guess it just didn't seem crazy to me at the time because I was a kid. I was like, okay, this is how it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Monkeys on set.
yeah.
But it's weird.
Were there any creative choices that you remember or that stand out to you as like, why are they doing this? But then it just ended up working.
Well, the thing I mentioned earlier with the egg getting cracked over my head.
Yeah.
I think that was just to punish me.
Yeah. It was just mess for mess sake.
Yes, to punish Bobby.
Yeah.
This will get him.
Yeah.
But I also remember one scene where I was going to take you to a ball game,
Okay.
and I had these 2 triangular flags in my hand,
Uh-huh.
and I'm looking over at the kitchen,
Yeah.
and I'm in the foyer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you to come with me,
Mhm.
and I wave him, "Bravo, Yankee! Bravo, Yankee!"
Yeah.
as an homage to the film. What's the name of the film? The Last Detail.
Okay.
Jack
I've not
Nicholson?
seen it. Okay.
Yeah, I
It's
don't think
really good.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a scene in there where Randy Quaid, who was being escorted by these 2 Navy guys
Mhm.
to the brig, and he
Mhm.
stole something
Mhm.
like a 25-cent candy,
Yeah.
and they're making an example out of him.
Yeah.
And he does that. He's like walking away, and they're like, "Hey, where are you going?" And he turns around, and goes, "Bravo, Yankee! Bravo, Yankee!" Well, whatever the sign is, right?
Yeah.
And Jack Nicholson's like, B-Y, B-Y, bye, and they go chasing after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
See, references like
Yeah,
that.
that
we
would have
we
gone-
would never
would've-
know.
right
By
over
the
our
way,
head.
speaking of sports within the show,
Oh, yeah.
I'm really sorry about your Walter Payton football. I've flattened it.
I just can't believe you got him to sign it.
Yeah. I have, and I'm sure you're aware of this. I have so many props from the show.
I think I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents have a literal museum
That's
Of
crazy.
in the
Lizzy
attic. Yes.
stuff.
Yes, of Lizzy stuff. It's kind of impressive.
This is very impressive.
All right, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, comment, do all that stuff below. Bobby, is there anything that you'd like to make a call out where people can see you on next?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Bobby.
Yeah, good to be here.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.